welcome once again to the Modelling Workbench, and today we have a bit of a sad topic to talk about because, well, it's going to be the end of a era for one particular layout. Now, this layout has been associated with me for quite a number of years, and I just think it's only right now that I should probably put it to rest, really, because it's I just don't have any very use for it, really. And that is, of course, my layout of Ffarquhar Mark 1. Now, before anybody asks, no, not the current version of Ffarquhar Mark 1 that I made back in 2015. I mean this one. Now, for those who followed me since the early days, back when I joined YouTube in 2008, many people would have actually seen this layout featuring quite a few videos, most notably on my friend Casey Jr.'s YouTube channel. Now, he's now taken those videos off his channel, and so I can't really get that much archive footage. But this was used for many of my Workbench videos for displaying models, filming, and just for general interest. This was a layout that actually helped me get back into railway modelling during a long hiatus. And it's helped me teach myself a whole new range of railway modelling compared to what I used to know back in the old days, back when I was a young one. And yeah, this layout actually did work pretty well until I moved on to make Ffarquhar Mark 1 the current version. And ever since then, it's just been sitting in the workshops, in the garage, just up against the wall, just doing nothing. And it's slowly now starting to succumb to its time. So I think now is pretty much the time now I think it's probably worth to dismantle it, because I have no further use for the layout anymore. It's just now taking up a lot of room in the workshops, and like I said, I just have no further use for it. But before I do start dismantling it there, I just want to have, let you guys see what it was, talk to you about it, and then of course we'll go straight into the disassembly. So this layout was built in, I think, during the period of October to April, October 2007, and it was finished in April 2008. So it was just something that I asked my dad if it was okay if we can maybe start a new layout, because I did have an old layout like this before, and it was the same size, but it had a operation well in the middle, and that was basically my childhood model railway layout. But it never really worked that well. It kept failing every once in a while, and when I have my trains running, there's always a chance that there would be derailments along the way, and that was mainly because I used the wrong radius of track on the curves. So I didn't really know much about railway modelling at the time, and I wasn't really aware of I didn't know what a different radius was. And so this layout just kind of sat there for a while, and I did do some filming with it before. I do remember I filmed Casey Jr.'s video, Percy Gets Lost, on it. But the layout was pretty much like a bit of a dumping ground of toys and trains and all sorts here, so there wasn't really much in terms of scenery wise to look at. And so I decided to see if there would be a way to start again, and this is where Ffarquhar Mark 1 came in. And that was also when I first came across the Reverend Audrey's layout of Ffarquhar Mark 1 and thought this would be a good layout to replicate. Now this layout was kind of leaning more to the Railway series illustrations, because I was taking a lot of inspiration from Clive Spung's illustrations. And there was also a track plan I came across online. It was somebody did a model railway article on Ffarquhar Mark 1, and they drew this Microsoft Paint track plan of the layout, but there wasn't there were some parts of it that wasn't actually correct, such as there weren't any workmen's colleges here, which I installed in. There wasn't another one here, there wasn't one here. There was a whole different scenario but regard to the farm in the far corner, but that was the track plan I used to build this layout with. And also, up along here there wasn't a road, because somehow I made this a main road, which there wasn't. But that was the track plan I used, and I arranged for Santa Claus to bring me some items for the layout, like buildings, scenery stuff. But I got the baseboard and the track from a local model, from a model shop I used to go to quite a lot as a kid, but I don't go there anymore that often. No, I went there a few weeks back there, and it hasn't changed at all. So I'm glad it's still there. But anyway, I got the baseboard from there, and the track, and the controller, and that pretty much set me up with getting everything started. The track is standard Hornby with Pico points in some parts, but most of the points here are Hornby. Most of all the track here is Hornby related. The ballast is something I kind of take inspiration from Clive Spong's illustrations, where the track just seemed to be just sitting on top of just a brown gravel bed. So I saw this brown scenic mat from Jarvis and used that as my ballast. So we just cut strips of it there along where the track would go, and then just glued it on top, and then put the track on top of it as well. And this was also just to ensure easy maintenance was made on the layout, so that I didn't have to worry about putting ballast on, and if there was a point or something failed, I can just simply lift it off, put a new pieces back in, and that was it. Absolutely fine. And then after that, it was all just down to getting the scenery done. And of course, like, there was, like, you know, the basic sceneries, like, you know, the wee corner hills, just using bits of sheeted polystyrene to make up the corner sections. But then you have this big hill, this hillside here. So that was made from a majority of polystyrene blocks, cardboard, chicken wire, and plaster bandage, like lots and lots and lots of plaster bandage. And there was also this new stuff that my mum wanted me to try, because she thought it'd be very good. And at the time I wasn't so sure if I did want to use it or not. It was called Sculpture Rock. And this stuff is actually being used quite a lot now with model railway enthusiasts, and I have to agree that it is quite useful in some areas, but during this time I didn't really see much of a use for it. It just took forever to dry. But that was also because I was building the layout within a shed, in like a mobile classroom like this one here, and it just took this stuff just took ages to dry. But it dried. It did dry in the end. We got this all painted up and done up. The bridge section there, the road bridge, that's actually made from a bit of pipe guttering, I think, that my dad suggested on using, and then we just built the corner. I think it's made from polystyrene or cardboard. I'm not sure. It's been a long time ago. And then after we built all these here, it's just basically just covering it all with scenery, trees, bushes, flowers. So I had a lot of stuff, like a lot of visits to model shows, and just seeing what would work and what wouldn't work. And then there was also areas where I put lights in. When Hornby released their lighting system, I have areas where the lights are installed. I think they still work, so I will try and salvage these for future uses. But other than that, that was pretty much it really. So then, once April was done, April 2008 was finished, I just left the layout as it was, and I just ran it as a normal train set. Like, it was just my train set, as I called it. And that was when I started to get a bit of some enthusiasm to maybe extend the layout to Ffarquhar sheds, and so that was when I had installed a set of points to come off here, and then we had the extension to Ffarquhar sheds. And I think I did talk about that in another video at one point though, but that's pretty much how it all ended up really. So yeah, it's surprising seeing that I've kept this layout for so long. Like, I mean, it's like 2007 all the way up to now. It was like 2023 now. That's a good number of years, like, really good number of years. So let us begin with the disassembly then. Oh! Look at this! Just found £5. Could be a luck there. Anyway. And so that's the end of Ffarquhar Mark 1, the original Ffarquhar Mark 1. The replica one that you guys have been currently seeing recently, it's still being used now, so that's going to be the Ffarquhar. It's going to take over from it from now on. So, but I must say it is sad, like, you know, I have to dismantle that layout because it's brought quite a lot of it's done such a lot there to help me get into well, basically to return to the hobby that is railway modelling, and I'm very grateful, like, you know, I actually chose that layout to, you know, return to the hobby with. And because of which, yeah, like, you know, when one layout goes, another layout takes its place, and this is a new layout which is currently in work in progress, on and off. This is Ffarquhar, not Ffarquhar, this is going to be a replica of Mid Sodor, and this is currently in its building stages right now, so it's going to be one of those slow projects that, well, probably might go on and off, maybe come back to it once in a while, but I don't think I'll really do much coverage of, you know, doing video tutorials on how I'm replicating this layout, but every once in a while I might do video coverage on it, just to let you guys know what way it is so far. But for now, this is where it's kind of looking. So it's a very simple plywood build layout using the original layout's behind the scenes photos as a reference, thanks to Luke's video on Mid Sodor Mysteries for providing those references. And yeah, so like, it's just going to be a very simple layout. I'm not going to be taking this layout to shows because I don't want people to mistake it for the real Mid Sodor. But I will take it maybe sometimes to like club gatherings, though if chances are it is required for like shows out there, I'll just say it's a replica. This is not the original, just letting you guys know. that's pretty much the end now of this dismantle video of Ffarquhar Mark 1, the original from 2007. Sorry if I may have confused you guys, if that actually, some of you guys have thought, oh, you've dismantled your actual current replica, why? No, like I said, I'm still using it here. It's still being asked to be taken to shows, so I'm very grateful for that there, and it's a good training layout for newcomers who want to try and help out running the layout at shows. Ffarquhar Mark 2 is still in its construction stages right now because recently I've had a wee bit of a hiatus from that project, and I will be returning to it very soon, maybe after Audrey X or maybe once in a while, but that'll be more or less just, again, like Midsummer, a home project just to work on, but I will do enough video coverage of the next stages of it. Sorry for the blanks here. So the next item that's going to be focusing on, mostly is going to take on my attention, is miniature railway adventures, because I'm at a very good point with it now here, and I really do want to keep pursuing with it. Branch line engines, it's still being made. It's going to be made alongside with Miniature Railway, so because it's going to be filming using the same board, and so I just hope that it'll all turn out well. So, right guys, I have to head off now, and I'll see you guys pretty soon.